Hi, and welcome to Simplanova's presentation on automated tools for Dynamics NAV upgrade to extensions. Before we begin today, I would like to briefly introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the co-founder of Simplanova. We've been running with the company for over 6 years now. And over that time, we've participated in more than 300, I think nearly 350 Dynamics NAV upgrades now. And the reason why so many partners have trusted us with these upgrades is because from day one our mission was to automate as much work as possible in the process, and I think we've managed to successfully deliver on that mission. We've released a number of tools, including report conversion, data port, matrix form converters, our own merging tool, many other smaller ones, and the most recent one, which I'm going to demonstrate today, the code to events tool. Now, what else does Simplanova do? Apart from the tools, we provide the upgrade services from Dynamics NAV to Business Central on a fixed price basis. That is for the partners only. We also have CL and EL development services, fixed price and time and material. And we have our own add-on migration to extension services for the ISVs, where we help them move their add-on extensions or even to app source, also on a fixed price basis. So for our agenda today, I will demonstrate two tools. The first one is the Simplanova Code to Events tool. We're going to export modified objects, convert them, import them to Business Central On-PREM, and import to Business Central Cloud. And for the second part, I'm going to demonstrate the report converter and explain a bit more how it works later. So before the demonstration of the Code to Events tool, so what are the migration to extensions tools in general? So we have the, first of all, the Microsoft TXT to AL tool, which is by far the best tool now that's available for custom object conversion to AL. It's still being improved. Microsoft used this tool themselves, and many partners are using it and posting the feedback, and we see progress of this tool being improved every month. The second one, the Simplanova Code to Events tool, this deals with the modifications inside standard objects, because Microsoft tool does not move modifications to events. So what the tool does is it creates subscriber code units and moves page and table trigger modifications to them. Now it also clears the standard object modifications, because if you want to move code outside of them, you also have to clear and leave them as standard. And we don't aim with this tool for full automation, because we see some, let's call it funny code inside sometimes, or written in a non-traditional, not the right way, non-traditional manner, and we cannot, our tool doesn't handle it. So what the tool does is it adds comments to the code lines, which cannot be moved to an event, so that you could handle that manually. So what's on the roadmap? First of all, the tool will include advanced CL code analysis. So this is something which will help to identify modifications better and in order to move them to events. Then we will also introduce Microsoft published integration business event publisher mapping. And we will also have the tool create new integration events where they are required, where they are not available by Microsoft, but this will only be for the Business Central On-PREM version. And as a final note, a suggestion that we've heard in our recent webinar was that we will also include a reports page, which would give an analysis of all the things that could not have been moved to events, that you would have them as a list. And you wouldn't have to manually identify all the code modifications inside standard objects. You would have that as one report. So let's start with the demonstration. What I'm going to show today is I'm going to show one item card page conversion, which is quite a simple one, but this is just to showcase how the tool works. So for the first step, what we have is we're going to export standard item card page. We're going to modify it later and also export this modification. Now what we see here in this video is I'm selecting the item card page. I'm also selecting the item table, and I'm going to export them to a text file, as can be seen here. We'll name it baseline objects. Now, the reason why we need this standard object exported, is because we're going to compare the customized standard object to the standard one, and that is how the tool understands where the modification is. Now what you can see in this video is that we're opening item card page description field, and we are going to write an if statement that if this field is an inventory, if the item is an inventory item, and if it doesn't have a picture associated with it, then we are going to show a message which will say, please insert picture. Here it is. We are writing the message. All right, now we're going to save this code. Let's test it real quick to see if it works. Let's open the Nav client. Let's run the item card page. And let's try to modify the description field. We've changed it. Here it is. We see please insert picture. Here's the message. So the modification worked, and as a final step, we'll export this modified item card page. We'll name it customized objects, exporting to a text file, and that's it for the first step. So we've exported standard page and modified standard. Now the next step would be to actually convert this exported item card page. And before I show you how to do that with Simplanova tool, I would just like to go through the manual steps you would have to take in order to move that code to events. So first of all, you would have to identify where that custom code is inside the standard object, which takes time. Then you would have to create subscriber's code unit. You would have to create an event subscriber, and finally transfer the code, which we've identified in the first step, to the event subscriber. Now all that done manually, but with Simplanova tool, you see the very simple web interface here. You just upload the standard object, which we've just exported, the baseline objects. You also upload the customized objects here. You press the transform button, and you download the text file. So here it is. And that's it. That's all the conversion. We have the it converted. You can also upload as many objects as you like here. It's not just like you just can upload one item card page. You can upload as many objects as you want to convert, and the output file will be in one text file, which you can then import all objects to. So what's the next step? The next step, let's try and import this code unit to Business Central on-premise and see if it works. So first of all, we'll be importing the converted objects. Okay, let's search for the text file. Here it is. So now we are overwriting the item card page, the standard modified. So we should be, if the tool worked fine, overwriting it to a completely standard one. And we are now opening the description field, and we see that there's no code here inside anymore. All right, close the window. So now we're saving it, and then we're going to find the code unit. Let's search for 50,000 range. Here it is, page subscriber. Let's design it, and here we see our code, which checks if the item is inventory item. We see the code is changed a little bit, and which is handled by the tool, of course. And we save it, and let's now test if it works as a final step. Let's run the item card page. Let's change the description field again. And here we see, here was the message, please insert picture. All right, so that was for Business Central on-premise. Now, what about Business Central Cloud? At this moment, the tool does not convert the code unit, which you get AL code instantly. You would have to use Microsoft tool for that as an additional step. You would have to convert objects to syntax, then convert objects to AL, and open Visual Studio Code. In the future, we plan on doing all this automatically, but at this moment it's an additional step. So first we're going to convert the code unit new syntax. Then once that's done, we're going to convert it to AL code. All right, so it has been converted. We see 3 AL objects here now. Sorry, not 3, it's 2 AL objects in one translation file. So, and the next step is let's open the Visual Studio Code and let's import these AL objects now. So we're going to import them here. We're going to delete the page because it's a standard page. We don't need it. We already have the standard page in the system. And for the code unit part, here we see the code. We've just changed the page ID to page name here because that's how it works in Visual Studio Code. We're going to save it and run it in Business Central Cloud version to see if the modification works. So this is what you just saw, the conversion to AL is we're using standard Microsoft process, standard Microsoft tool, the XC2L tool, nothing too fancy there. We're going to have this tool inside our engine in the future to handle this automatically for you without any extra steps. But that's by far the best approach to do it. So let's open the items now. We open an item which doesn't have a picture associated. We see down chairs instead of bicycles here because it's Business Central Cloud. Let's change the description field and we should see a message. All right, we see please insert picture. We have the message, so the tool works also on Business Central Cloud. So why Simplanova Events tool? Well, as you just saw, it's speedy and it's simple to use. We just export objects, upload to our tool, convert and import them back. Easy. Secondly, it automates a repetitive task, things that you would do manually. Why would you do that manually if that can be automated? Doesn't make any sense. And finally, we not only have the tool, but we also have the capacity to help you. If you have any code that you want to move to extensions, if you have any events that you want to, if you have any code that you want to move to events, you can get a free quote. Just write to sales@simplanova.com and we will get back to you. We provide analysis, code analysis, we provide free fixed price quote. Just write us and we'll let you know. So one more thing regarding the tool. At this moment, this tool is not yet for sale. If you're interested in the pricing, we hope you'll have this tool in a commercial manner packaged for October of this year. Until then, for anyone who's interested to become an early tester, please also write to sales@simplanova.com and we'll add it to the early tester list. We'd really appreciate that. For the other ones who don't want to try this tool, who just want to buy it, please wait for a little longer when it's available for you to buy. Yes, and for the second part today, for the presentation, I'm going to present the report converter. which is used by many partners already, loved by many partners. It's been available for a couple of years now. And you may wonder, for those of you who don't know it, why would you need another report converter? There are so many already available. Well, this tool is quite different, I would say. It does not only convert seaside reports, but it also actually converts them to NAV objects. So you have a native NAV report after the conversion. It's an RDLC report. And you don't need any license fees in order to run this report, which is a very good benefit comparing to all the other tools. So once you convert it, it's your report. You can delete our tools. You don't need anything else. So that means that also that these reports can be moved across many customers who don't have Simplanova's tool installed. Now, if you wonder about the whether this tool converts to EL, we plan on delivering that by the end of June. That it would also have to be handled automatically, imported to, as an EL format. Until then, if you want to do that, we have instructions written. There's a few extra steps on how to do it. So let's see the tool in action. I'll open my environment. We'll start with NAV 2009 Classic. I have two reports here created. I'll change their names real quick. I have chart of accounts. I'll call it presentation. And I have sales invoice. I'll also name it as presentation. And as a first step, what I need to do is I'm going to export them to a text file. I'm going to find my, okay, here it is, webinar folder, and I'll name it presentation 2019 text file. Here it was exported. And I'll open my now Business Central on-prem client. I'm going to find, this is a Cronus database. I'm going to find Simplanova tools installed here, a FOB file which I've uploaded a bit earlier. I'm going to open the Classic converter. And this is the page that I'm opening called SCC Objects. This is the main working window where we import and convert the reports. So as a first step, I'm going to upload the text file which I've just exported from the Classic client. All right. I'm importing two reports. Okay, reports complexity calculated. And now I'm going to select these two reports that I want to convert because they are not yet converted. What you see here is that only the complexity is calculated. So up to this point, this is completely free to use, install, and try. Because at this moment, I can only see how much license points you would need. So simple reports such as chart of accounts require 1 point. And the more complex ones, such as sales invoices, requires 2 points, 2 license points. And I have my license info here. I can check how many license points I have. If you want to start converting, you just write to sales@simplanova.com, and we give the license key, and you can start converting. So I've selected these two reports. I'll press the convert button. I have some settings here, but for now I'll leave the standard ones. I see again the total amount of points I need. I press OK, and now the real magic starts, the conversion starts. So what it does, it takes these two reports through our servers, converts them there, imports them back to the system, and tries to compile them. All right. So we see that the report's been converted, but we have some errors. So chart of accounts is a simple report. We just run it and see how it looks with data. All right, here is the chart of accounts. It's a pretty simple report. Let's compare it to the classic one. I'll open the chart of accounts here. Okay, sorry, I did not select the company. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll preview the chart of accounts in the classic environment again. Okay, so this is my chart of accounts in the classic client. And this is the converted one. As we can see, this is an easy conversion. You may say this is just chart of accounts. I just need an hour to recreate all this. All right, let's see the sales invoice. Here we open the log file and we see that there's one critical error that prevents compiling. It's that table 59 does not exist anymore. This is a table which existed in the classic environment. So what do I do now? I open the environment and Business Central dev environment, and I'll find these reports. Okay, here it is, sales invoice presentation. I go to the design mode. I'll try to compile this. Okay, it says that table data 359 does not exist. Let's try and change this. Okay, so I already know what to change. You may also know, if you read the documentation that we have, what you need to look for if something does not compile. So this just means that not everything is fully automatically handled by our tool, but as you'll see, these are just very few simple steps. So for now, I'll just delete the references. I have the table 359, and I'll comment some pieces of code which prevent me from compiling. Okay, I see that formatting here is wrong. I need to add customer address here. Let's try and compile again. This is also preventing me from compiling. I'm just commenting these things out, and this is another area. Okay, you don't like this, so I'll just comment it out. Let's compile it. Okay, it works now. I'll save it. So first of all, what I want to show you is that this is the sales invoice. So you see all the data items are in place. So the data set was created for you automatically. You don't have to do that manually. You can see it here. That was done for you automatically. And I can also open the layout in SQL Report Builder and show you that the report layout was also created for you automatically. You can see all the fields, all the expressions are in place. So that's probably a full day or even 2 days of work that's done for you automatically. And as a final step, since now this report is compiled, we can actually run it and see how it looks with data. So this is the sales invoice. And I'll open the classic one. This is the same sales invoice in the classic environment. You can see the conversion went almost exactly the same. And you don't have to do that manually. So, to summarize the presentation, if you want to start converting reports automatically, please write to sales@simplanova.com. We provide free trials, free trial license points, or if you're interested in moving code to events automatically, please also write to sales@simplanova.com, and we will provide you either to the early tester list, or you can also have a free business case assessment. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope to hear from you soon.